Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to be filming again. It has been way too long, but let's just jump straight into it. So I want this video to be more of like a vlog style, which is a lot more different than the usual content that I make. If you are in my close friends story on Instagram, then you know I've been talking about this a little bit. I'm going to be shifting my content away from being only about self-help because I feel like it makes it seem that I have this secret way of living life. But the truth is that I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm living it one day at a time, just like everybody else. And so I kind of want to be a lot more real and authentic with all the other parts of my life rather than just only showcasing one part that I really do love and I do invest in. So today's video, like I said before, it's gonna be like a get ready with me, and we are already starting on a very interesting foot. I have class today. I have a huge test today, and I'm already missing one of my classes because I am completely out of it. I literally was bedridden all day yesterday, and today I feel so weak. I have a little orange beside me to kind of try to get some vitamin C. I have some water over here, seeing like what helps, literally calling for prayers as we speak. So I decided that I'm just going to go to my second class and really focus on making sure I'm prepared for my test and trying to push myself to make it to both classes. And if you don't know me, I am a pass outer. I will throw up, I will pass out. I am one of those people, like my body will shut down. And so I know myself enough to know that if I push myself while I'm already feeling weak, the consequences are just not worth it in that sense. So along with this, I wanted to do a little bit of a life update. I filmed one the other day, but the more that I was editing that footage, the more that I was like, this just feels so serious, and I just want to move away from being like very serious about life right now. And so I'm just gonna like give a quick little update here. I am back in school, as many of you guys know if you follow me on social media. I am so excited. I'm 24, re-embarking this journey through college. I'm getting my bachelor's. When I first left school, I didn't even want to talk about the idea of going back. Also, when I got out of school, I was modeling for 4 years. And so that whole journey also just took me a lot further away from the idea of going back. I was literally traveling the world. So it was like, what am I going to do online college? I'm not an online student. I also just had a much different perception of like who I was as a student. Me now today at 24, I've taken a pause on modeling. You know, there's that saying that when you turn 25, your prefrontal cortex fully develops, you start looking at life a lot differently. I don't know, I think they're a little bit true about that. I feel like I've just been reevaluating like what it is that I want, how I want to create my life, and just understanding that the seeds that I plant today are really going to be my garden, you know, years from now. And so going back to school, it was a crazy idea to wrap my head around. I needed a lot of reassurance to kind of get my confidence back up. And I also needed to break down this idea of who I was as a student, because I was kind of applying who I was at 19 to who I am today at 24. And it was just really daunting. I felt like, what if I, you know, self-sabotage? I took a couple of months to really wrap my head around the idea of going back to school. And lo and behold, I'm here and I'm surprising myself. I'm doing really, really great, which has been really amazing to kind of see those narratives and those fears that I had before starting school break away. Like I'm literally proving it to myself that I can show up for myself. That's been really, really fun. Modeling. I don't really know what to say about this. In the other video that I filmed, I kind of gave a very generic answer as to like why I chose to kind of step back in my journey. I'm realizing that I'm still not kind of ready to talk about it. Not that anything horrific happened, but it really is just like a sore spot for me. Ultimately, my journey through modeling was something that I built for myself with the help of obviously my agencies, but like I never had a handout. I never had mommy or daddy's money to get me through my journey. I was completely self-funded, working endlessly to get to the places that I got to. And so taking a step back from it really just was like a heartbreaking decision. Sometimes it can be really hard to say goodbye and to let go of things that you kind of invest all of your time and resources into. But ultimately, some goodbyes are needed. Some goodbyes hurt, but it's still a healthy one. And I think that that's what I'm understanding and learning. I'm just gonna leave that there. Yeah, okay, so let's actually get ready because I feel like I've just been yapping and not getting ready. Another little update is that I was diagnosed with ADHD, which is actually really funny how it happened. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. I was working at Nike. I was talking to one of my really good friends, and I was just like yapping, literally just yapping. She was just basically like, I think you should get like a little test done. And I was like, oh, okay, sure, why not? That's not how it really happened, but that's the most simplest version of what happened. Ended up going back to my therapist, getting my test done, and I have ADHD. I have complex ADHD. The funniest part about this is that the day before I talked to my coworker, I was journaling and I wrote a letter to the universe, and I was like, it would be so fun to find out something new about myself. If you don't believe me, I will literally go back in my journal and find the page. I pinky swear. I literally journaled and I was like, universe, I don't know. It would be so fun to discover something new about myself. And never in a million years did I think that that was gonna be an ADHD diagnosis. I feel like getting that diagnosis has really helped me kind of shape my perspective around myself a lot differently. When I was younger, I used to be really hard on myself. Obviously, I didn't have the language or the tools to understand that this might have been something deeper. But now having this diagnosis, I feel like I kind of am so sad that I was so hard on myself all of these years. And there's a neurological difference in my brain that I have to develop new tools around that don't look like the typical tools for everybody else. And so I feel like this is really allowing me to be a lot more kinder and compassionate to myself. I am currently taking medication. What I'm taking is not like a typical ADHD medication. It's an off-label for ADHD, which just means that it wasn't specifically FDA approved to treat ADHD, but it can treat ADHD symptoms. What I'm taking right now is called Wellbutrin. It's a dopamine and norepinephrine. Please excuse me if I butcher that because I already know that I did. Reuptake inhibitor, which just means that it inhibits the reuptake process of dopamine and that other chemical, and it allows those chemicals to sit longer in your brain. And if you know anything about ADHD, our brains don't regulate dopamine properly, and oftentimes it can lead us into situations that we are trying to get that dopamine effect. So that has been really fun to kind of navigate and learn about myself. I know I keep using the adjective fun, and obviously not all the time is it fun. Most of the time it's actually not fun at all, but I'm a very not serious person. I don't know, like a way for me to kind of like cope with some of these things and navigate it without it feeling so heavy is to make jokes about things and like laugh about it. I'm a person who I just laugh at myself and it makes me feel better. Really fun story. I was in New Jersey one time and it was like an end of summer trip with my friend. This particular day, I had trip twice. This is important, right? My friend, Alex, looks at me and she's like, it comes in threes, babe. And I'm like, okay, funny. We go out that night. We were going to walk out the door. A moth tries to fly into the house. My boyfriend hits the moth and like completely knocks it out. I'm like, oh my God, babe, like that was insane. Like maybe we could have caught it and it could have like flown away. And I'm like paying attention to that. I go to walk down the stairs. I tumble, like fully tumble down the porch. I started dying laughing at myself. I'm hurt, I'm bruised, by the way, like skin off of my ankle. And I start laughing at myself and I turn around and I look and nobody's laughing. And they're like completely serious and they're just like, are you okay? It almost made me feel worse on the inside that nobody was laughing because I'm like, oh, like we could have just funny haha this and like kind of moved on from it. But you guys are genuinely concerned if I'm okay, so. Yeah, I'm fine. You know, in serious situations, I just prefer laughing at myself. It just like is a coping mechanism for me. And so what time is it? Because I do have to make sure that I'm on track. It's 9:43 right now. By the way, I've been so obsessed with these like roll-on oil perfumes. I get these from my beauty supply store that's right up the block for me. They smell so good. They last so long. With regular perfumes, because they're alcohol based, it can like leave my skin feeling really dry. But these oil based perfumes are kind of moisturizing and also make you smell good. So that is a plus on both sides. I'm already feeling so much better from when I first started this video. I promise you in the beginning of this day, I was like, holy shit, like I could pass out. But right now I feel so much better. I'm gonna continue taking it really slow because sometimes, oh my God, I had to take my medication. If that's not a little thing of ADHD, then I don't know what it is. I'm gonna finish getting ready and then I'm gonna kind of get up and leave. I think I'm gonna take you guys with me. I think I'm gonna make this like a whole little vlog day and then you guys can come with me and watch me study for this test because it's a 50 question test in psychology and I'm a psychology major, so can't fuck this one up. I have like a really good fit check place, but this is the outfit. Shoes, little black kitten heels, and we're going. Hi guys, I am back home now and I feel really confident about the test that I took. I think one thing that's a little bit frustrating for me is that I haven't yet cracked down how to properly study for these exams. On my own time, it feels like I am maximizing all that I can to like gain the knowledge on this material. But then whenever we go and take the exams, I realize I'm actually only studying probably like 85 to 90% of what's being tested. And so I'm gonna take advantage of his office hours. I'm just gonna go and bite the bullet and be like, hey, like I need to know from your perspective, like what is the best possible way that I can study for these exams so that I feel like I'm covering 100% of the material that you are testing us on. It's just like a little bit frustrating to me because I know that I can get a 100 on these exams and the fact that I'm not is like pissing me off. And so I'm just gonna go to his office hours. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just gonna go to his office hours. So another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was I ran into the owner of the dance studio that I used to go to when I was a kid, which was really fun and random. And something that we were talking about really resonated with me. Her ex-boss had given her advice that she was too nice and that people were gonna take advantage of her kindness. And I feel like this resonates with me because in my adult life now, I feel like I am very kind almost to a fault. The girl who I was in high school was like she needs an exorcism. And then as I began unpacking like everything that I'd been through, going through therapy, I just like didn't have the energy anymore. Like I didn't have the energy to fight. I was like waving the white flag, like you got it, you win, I'm out. In my adulthood now, I feel like I'm almost passive in a way. It's not something that's really serving me in all areas of my life. Obviously want to treat everybody around me with respect, which I do. In my personal relationships, it's fine for me to be that way. It's fine for me to be the lover girl, the girl who is nurturing, the girl who intentionally pours into people. That's beautiful. Those are all great qualities. But when we're talking about like chasing dreams and goals and really going after what it is that you want, you can't be passive about that. And one metaphor that I always love to fall back on is somebody will come and literally sit in your seat at your table and eat off your plate just because they can. I feel like I have to learn walking into 25 what different environments require of me. I feel like that's something that I really, really, really do want to be able to have like the wisdom to decipher. But basically my point is that I don't want to be in the backseat of my own life. I would be damned if I got to the end of my life journey, I go to heaven and I'm standing with God and God is like, look at all these opportunities that you could have had you just taken them. Like I would be gagged. I would be so gagged. I'm not saying to be self-serving to a point where you are hurting others. It's not about taking this mindset to an extreme, but it's about holding self-respect. It's about like knowing when somebody's playing in your face. It's about knowing when you need to go and grab that opportunity or else somebody's gonna sweep in and take it from you. That was just something that was really resonating with me after that conversation. And I hope that moving into 25 and as I continue moving through my 20s, that is something that I deeply, deeply want to just have down pat by the time that I'm 30. And yeah, so that conversation really resonated with me and those are my thoughts on it. So thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Now I have to go get ready for a birthday party. My friend Mika is turning 29 today. Okay, so my friend's party is actually next week. I don't know how I got the dates confused, but I did. And so for the rest of the night, I'm just gonna be chilling. I have a free evening. I'm gonna fold our clothes, make dinner, and just vibe. And so I'm just gonna end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube and to just share a little bit more candidly. I hope you enjoyed my Get Ready With Me and my little TED Talk. I will see you guys next time. Bye!